Hey guys, in today's video we're going to talk about 5 tips to hit your driver farther. Hey guys, Eric here, back outside at the Bethlehem Golf Club. I want to talk to you today about 5 tips to hit your driver farther. Now, before we dig into that, 2 quick things I want to talk about. Number 1, we have launched our 2-day golf schools. So we're going to do 2-day, full-day immersion events, golf schools here in Bethlehem, PA. Would love to see you guys come up for that if you're interested. It is the best way to really take your golf game to the next level. We will put a link in the description down below with more details if you're interested in coming up for a few days. If you can't make it in person, we'd also still love to help you through CogornoGolf.com, which is our membership site. Now, we designed CogornoGolf.com to be able to help you without seeing you in person. The course is full of guided learning. There's different courses, different quick fix sections. We have our members area where you're able to post your swing. We have a community of golfers helping each other get better. Lots of practice information on there. Would love to see you check out CogornoGolf.com. Join us, join our community, and let's get better together. Now, hitting our driver farther, 5 tips on how to hit the driver farther. There's a few things involved with me getting this golf ball to travel a farther distance. The 2 main pieces involved are club head speed and angle of attack. Those are the 2 biggies, club head speed, angle of attack. Of course, there's spin rates, launch conditions, etc., but those are the 2 biggies. Now, club head speed is the harder of those 2 to obtain. You can make some mechanical changes, you can do some things to improve speed, but that's a more difficult route to take. What's easier and more immediate is angle of attack. And when we're talking about angle of attack with the driver, all I mean is where the club head moves in space. As it approaches the golf ball, is it working down? Is it hitting it level? Or is it actually hitting it on the way up? And the moral of the story is the more you hit up, the farther the ball goes. It's really as simple as that. Now, how you hit up or what ways to do that is the complicated part. I have 5 tips to help you hit more up on the ball to hit it farther. Now, as with anything else, if I want to do something in my swing, the most important part of that is the setup position. So how I set up to the golf ball is going to be tip number 1 or thing number 1 I want to talk about. If I want to hit up on the golf ball, and I said 5, this end up might be in 7, 8, 9, or 10 things. At address, there's really 1 to 2 things that are relevant. The first thing we're going to talk about is tee height, okay? So if I wanted to hit up on a golf ball, whether it be golf or baseball or tennis or anything, would you have the ball starting higher in the air or really low to the ground to hit up on it? Of course you'd have the ball higher in the air, right? How high should you tee the ball? There's no stock answer to that, right? Test different things. I would say as a loose rule, people talk about half the golf ball being above the club head, half below. That's fine. You can go even higher than that. Go way up and see what works best for you. But tee height would be part number 1. I want to tee the ball higher to hit more up on it. The second part is where the ball is positioned in your stance. This I can give you more of a literal reference here. So again, if I wanted to hit more up on the ball, if you imagine I swing the golf club kind of in a circle around my body. That circle I swing my club head on has a low point, right? So the club head's gonna work down until it reaches its low point, and then it's gonna work back up. What I wanna do is position the ball just forward or just ahead of where that low point is. And where that is in our swing is gonna be roughly in line with our left armpit, left shoulder. So the more forward the ball position is, the easier to hit up. The more back the ball position is, the more difficult to hit up. I would recommend you start about in line with your left heel, middle of your left foot, or left shoulder, with being slightly more forward better than slightly back. So those 2 setup pieces, what I would start with. Ball teed nice and high, ball position forward. I'll go ahead and hit one just from there. Both of those pieces will help me hit more up on the ball, and that was a good one. Now, how are you gonna know if you hit up? Well, if you don't have a TrackMan, you're not gonna know, okay? But what you should see in terms of the ball flight pattern is really 2 things. The more you hit up, your dynamic loft should change a little bit. The ball should travel higher than normal and carry farther than normal. So you should see a noticeable difference in how high the ball flies. So that would be part number 1 at setup. Ball position forward, teed up nice and highly. Now, the second tip out of those 5, really the third, would be tilt at address. And when I say tilt at address, if I were to put this straight up and down on my spine, this is straight up this way. This would be tilted to the left, like a left side crunch. this would be tilted to the right or a right side crunch. If I wanted to hit up on the ball, would it be easier if I was straight up and down, tilted to the left, or tilted to the right? Hopefully you can see it would be easier if I was tilted to the right. Now notice when I add this right tilt, when I do a little crunch here like this, I'm not doing it by pushing my hips forward. Okay, so I'm not saying, hey, add tilt and push hips forward. My hip stays where it is, and I'm just doing a little bit of a crunch to the right. This makes my shoulders a little bit more up, my left shoulder a little bit higher, easier to hit up. So now I have 3 things at address: ball teed high, ball position forward, a little bit of a crunch, and those 3 things will help me hit up to hit it farther. Let's go ahead and do one from there. So those are 3 things I can do. Now, the next part would be during my backswing. What can I do during my backswing to help hit up? Now, the most relevant thing you can do during your backswing is position your body correctly. And that has to do basically with where my head is in space. So if I start here, the ball position's inside left heel, my head is behind the ball. If I'm hitting the ball and I want to hit up on it, would it be easier to hit up on the ball if my head was more back here or more forward here? Obviously, hopefully, more back would be easier, right? The farther back I am behind the golf ball, the easier it is to hit up. The more forward I am, the more I'm going to hit down. And of course, there are diminishing returns with this. Do I want you to move a country mile off the ball? Absolutely not. But slightly more behind it compared to more in front of it would help hit up. So now I've got 4 things. Got the ball teed up high. We've got the ball position forward. We've got a little bit of a tilt at address. Notice when I tilt, where's my head go? Goes back, right? Okay, good. Now what I'm gonna do during my backswing is make sure I get a nice big turn and I stay back. Okay, that's kind of my backswing thought. Nice big turn and stay back. I got my setup pieces, nice big turn and stay back. And that also, that's that 450 yarder, will help me hit more up on it. Big turn and stay back during the backswing. Now the next part is you gotta make a downswing, okay? And there's a transition phase to that. So what could I do during my transition to help me hit more up and not down? The same thing as my backswing. If I make a backswing and kind of stay big turn behind it and then I just go way forward, well that defeats the purpose, doesn't it? But if I make a nice big turn, I'm a little bit behind it and I stay behind it in transition, that helps me. Now I'm still behind it with my head motion. Now the number one thing that's gonna help do that is that right side bend. Okay, so I have a little tilt at address, a little crunch, big turn behind it, and then in transition, I wanna feel like I have a little bit of a tilt again, okay? Of course I'm turning as I do this, but I wanna feel a little bit of a tilt. When I add that tilt, my head goes where? Back behind it. We said head behind the ball, better for angle of attack. So, got a couple things. I got the ball position teed high, I've got it in line with my left heel, I have tilt, I have a big turn back behind it, and now I'm gonna stay behind it in transition. So do my setup pieces, ball teed high, forward crunch, good, done with that. Big turn behind it, stay behind it. And all of those that you can see are going higher than normal and 450. Now that's my transition move, but I also have to get through the ball. If I wanted to do my follow through pieces and hit up on the ball, what would I do? Again, the same principles apply, my head behind the ball, if you will, as I turn. So as I go here, I'm up to the top, big turn behind it. I stay behind it in transition. And then from there, I'm not gonna go way down forward with my head, chest down. I'm gonna go head stays back, belt buckle pushes forward. On my follow through, there's a ton of feels. This could be its own video. I would feel my belt buckle pushing forward. I'd feel my chest up towards the sky. I'd feel my left shoulder go up. I feel my hands go up. Kind of everything goes up. I wanna hit the ball up, right? So those would be my follow through feels. So now I got a bunch of things. I got the ball teed up. I got it in line with my left heel. I got a crunch. I got a big turn behind it. I'm staying behind it, and then I'm ripping everything up and through, chest up, eyes up, belt buckle up. Now I've got 96 swing thoughts that I'm gonna try and put together. Ball teed high, ball forward, crunch, big turn behind it, stay behind it, and work up. And that was all of that put together, and I have not hit the ball farther than that. So that's beautiful. So I can see I'm doing those things well. I don't have my TrackMan set up. I don't know if I'm hitting up on it, but I can see a difference in the ball pattern. Now, all kidding aside, should you try and do all those things at once? Maybe, but maybe not. Okay, maybe what you should do is just do the setup pieces first. Like I can do all of that because I kind of do it all already. It's already in my swing. If those are all new things, that might be too much for you, but that's a blueprint of what to do forever. That was just a master class on how to hit up on the ball. That's what you should be doing. So start with the setup. Make sure the ball's teed high enough. Is it well over the top of my club? Cool. I want the ball position in line with my left heel. Cool. Do I have a little bit of a crunch? Cool, yeah, how will I know if I have that? I'm gonna video, right, and record myself. And then I'm gonna make a huge turn behind it on the way back. I'm gonna stay behind it, and then I'm gonna come up and out of it. Now, you can't guess with these things again, right? So if you make your normal swing and your club face is open and you swing drastically over the top, is this gonna magically fix all that? No, it's not. If you have other things you have to fix those as well. This is specifically about hitting the ball farther through hitting the ball up, but those things will work if you get them correctly. If you pair some of these with the normal things you need to fix, they will work really well. Hope this makes sense. Hitting up on the ball, you will hit the ball farther. If you guys have any questions, as always, leave a comment down below. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. If you liked the video, please do us a favor, click the like button down below. Click the notification bell. Also, please subscribe if you haven't. Also, another reminder, every Monday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're here live on YouTube. We'd love to see you guys there.